they're not even mad about like children being harmed. They're just mad that gay people simply exist. Remember that. Yesterday, December the 3rd, I was literally chilling. So I was streaming. I was having a good time. But apparently in other places of the world, people are not having a good time. A bad time, actually. And it's because of a couple of little groups around the country who decided that yesterday, as of this recording, was their day to spring a plan that they've been harboring for quite some time. So around the country, there are a couple of LGBT gathering events where queer people, they like get together and they all start vibrating and like trading vibes or something, whatever like gay people do when they gather in gaggles. And they weren't able to do that alone because Saturday, a bunch of other people, are very curious people, decided to gather with them in hopes to stop them from being able to be normal and enjoy their life. So neo-Nazis, militia groups, Proud Boys, and Patriot Front. Yes, actually the entire like League of Villains. All of them, the Virgin Squads, all did come together in an attempt to shut down a couple of drag events that are happening across the country. Two in particular, one in North Carolina and one in Ohio. We're going to talk about the one in Ohio super quickly. So basically what happened is that these boys showed up and were very angry about the idea that there were going to be gay people existing at all. And so they all gathered with guns to be able to flex on the gay people, that they were going to shoot them or something, stop them from being able to gather, because that should be illegal, I guess, is what they want. But yeah, they all lined up on the street together. They asked them not to try and kill anybody, please, because that would make them look bad. People who showed up outside the drag show in Columbus, Ohio, and caused it to be canceled. This is terrorism, whereas the DOJ, clear violation of civil rights by neo-Nazi orgs. I will say, true. They, like, the DOJ and the police should have shut this down. This is clear threatening and menacing with firearms. I feel like in any other situation, like you follow groups of people around and you bring firearms to menace them. I think like in any other way or shape or form, this would be classified as obvious illegal menacing. And if you are wondering whether or not these people are, you know, as I would like to call neo-Nazis, you can just take a look at whatever this is. Oh, you see that? Man, what's that? What the heck? What are these guys doing? What are they doing with their hands? What's going on here? Man, that's wild. That's crazy. Nice. Super cool. Incredible. Great stuff. Thank you, police. You're doing such a good job. But I will say, even these like groups, which have a lot of markings of the groups in Florida, the literal neo-Nazi groups in Florida, which is still probably one of the most remarkable like signs I've seen in my entire life. Just taking the state of Florida and turning it into a swastika. I've never seen somebody. Okay, that's hilarious. It is a little funny. I'm not gonna lie. Some little Nazi bitch. I hate that I've seen this image. See guile. But unfortunately, they were able to get the show canceled. They were able to get the drag show canceled. It was very sad, but they got what they wanted, which was to terrorize and menace queer people from existing. But if you thought that that was as far as they were going to take it, let me tell you, no. Because I want to switch attention to something that was even more serious that happened yesterday, which seems to be a coordinated event when it comes to the stuff that was happening in Ohio and North Carolina and other parts of the countries where these people all gathered all together as one to try and have some sort of disconnected like Charlottesville type rally, but instead of being pro-slavery, now they're just anti-gay people. I want to switch to North Carolina, which had something even more dangerous and even more scary for the residents happen. Yesterday, there was unconfirmed reports coming out of Moore County, North Carolina, of 3 substations being shot up with firearms simultaneously to cut power to a drag show. Reportedly, 40,000 people in Moore County are currently without power. So at this moment, this is still a moving story. So take what I say with like a little bit of a grain of salt. Things are still moving. But so far, I want to talk about some of the things that are well known about what's happening at this moment in time, because it is scary. So in Moore County, North Carolina, as this said, all at the same time of day, near the night, the entire county's power system went down. All across the county, there were 3 power stations that were all attacked the same exact way at the same exact time to shut down power. And now you may be wondering, why in the world did they think that they want to? Why in the world did they choose to shut down power of this entire county in the middle of winter? The reason was because there was a drag show going on, and they claimed that it was a groomer event, even though this drag event was not all ages. This was an 18 plus drag event. This is not like a sort of like drag the kids to Pride or something. This was literally an adult event for adults that they decided to try and take down, specifically because they didn't want gay people or queer people of any flavor to gather at all. This was, at this moment in time, pointing to being an actual terrorist attack on an entire county to take down the power to try to shut down the drag event because they didn't want them to be able to perform. So now 40,000 people are going to spend multiple days without heating, internet, television, anything, and sometimes without water, because they didn't want a couple of gay people to be able to have a booth and talk to each other and put on little shows for each other. Emily Rayner, a former Army officer who resigned after the Army launched an investigation into her participation in January 6th, posted this about the power outages. The power is out in Moore County, and I know why. And I know why is very strange, isn't it? This like former Army officer who went to the January 6th riot, but then resigned because she didn't want the investigation to reach her, is already like, I know exactly why this is happening. So already out the window, the idea that this is just simply a random event, that the 3 most important power stations across an entire county all went down in the same way at the same exact time. Sure. Okay. A follow-up post, Rainey tagged Sunrise Theater, where the drag show was being held, and wrote, "God will not be mocked," among what appears to be a photo of the building tonight during the power outage. Yeah, God will not be mocked. So she's just kind of, once again, menacing these people, standing outside the drag show and like telling them that God will have their retribution on them. This person posted a tweet appearing to endorse the firearms attack on the substations, and then edited the tweet to remove the approving hashtag. What the fuck? This is what the tweet is at the moment. Breaking, a family-friendly drag event in Moore County, North Carolina was canceled due to a massive power outage. Reports are now coming in that the substations were damaged by firearms. Breaking, a family-friendly drag queen event was canceled, and it was damaged by firearms. And then originally she said, hashtag protect children, hashtag I'm okay with it. POV, I love terrorist attacks as long as they're the terrorist attacks that I think are based. These people, dude, Al-Qaeda is here. We are living among Al-Qaeda. It's true. These are actual Christian fascists, Christian nationalists, white nationalists, Al-Qaeda, who want to overthrow the government and install their own like religious extremism to be able to control the populace to do whatever they want. I'm worried of residents of Moore County who rely on self-sustaining medical treatment and just had the power cut. This attack has immediately put lives in danger, to say nothing of the campaign of terror being waged against LGBT people. Emily chimed in again to say, the Moore County Sheriff's Office just checked in. I welcome them into my home. So this, if you think that like already this is insane, let me tell you, read this. Read how insane this is. So this woman was visited by the police. And she said, just checked in. I welcomed them to my home. Sorry they wasted their time. I told them God works in mysterious ways and is responsible and is responsible for the outage. I used the opportunity to tell them about the immoral drag show and that the blasphemies screamed by its supporters. I told them God is chastising Moore County. Thank them for coming and wish them a good night. Thankful for the LEO's service, as always. Isn't this horrifying? Isn't this really genuinely kind of fucking scary? How this bitch is insane. This bitch is nuts. She is out of her mind. Okay? So I'm not sure if she had a role to play in blowing up the power stations. It's genuinely possible. It is 100% possible. She could just be somebody who loves terrorism or somebody who played a role in it. I'm not sure. Oh, what I do know is that her mere existence and what she believes in specifically like builds credence to these terrorist attacks, and she wants more of them. She literally like stated wants more of them, or that like Moore City deserves it for not like hanging enough gay people. There are now unconfirmed reports of looting in the looting at Walmart and a local gun store. You really do hate to see it. Moore County Sheriff Ronnie Fields reports that the massive power outage in the county is being investigated as a criminal occurrence. Just after 7 p.m. a Saturday evening, December 3rd, 2022, several different communities across Moore County began experiencing power outages as utility companies began responding to the different substations. Evidence is discovered that indicated that intentional vandalism has occurred at multiple sites. Moore County's deputies and various other law enforcement agencies within the city responded to different areas and are providing further site security. So they're even thinking that there may possibly be more attacks that are in the future for this type of stuff to happen. And recently, before I was able to do this segment for you all, I watched the sheriff's office do a report, and they confirmed everything that I was thinking, which was it was an intentional attack. It was a coordinated attack in which to disrupt the power of the entire county. So yes, whoops. So yes, this was actually a true coordinated like right-wing attack to take down this drag show so far. And once again, as you can see, someone's by Reality World and Nikki Bowman team The Manifest boutique showtime sold out. No one under the age of 18 will be permitted. ID is required for all guests. So this is not a all ages drag show. I promise you that a lot of these people who are mad actually have no clue what a drag show is. They didn't know that a drag show existed before 2022. They have no clue what's happening, but they do know that gay people are there, and they do know that Tucker Carlson has told them to arm themselves and get ready to fight off the horde of gay people looking to transify their child. Very normal. So also there was a video that dropped showing the highway leading out of Moore County. So at this moment in time, the entire county is like flooding out to other counties because nobody wants to be able to stay there. Nobody wants to stay there anymore. Obviously, they don't have heating. They don't have electricity. They need to be able to get to a safe space. So this is like thousands of lives, 40,000 people at this moment in time whose lives are upended because they couldn't handle gay people existing. If you live in Moore County and don't see critical details being reported, yeah, you can reach out to this person as well who's doing the reporting. And the wild thing is, if you want to see the resilience of minority communities, the wild thing is, even though they made a, I'm going to say it, terrorist attack, like attacking civilians of an entire county in order to make a political statement to say that gay people shouldn't be allowed in that county, or to be able to allow to exist or host shows or show themselves in public at all. That is 100% using violence against civilian populace for your own political ends. We have a word for that. It starts with T, but I'll hold off on that for a moment. But to just show the resilience of like the queer community, even though it got all of these people to leave, you know who didn't leave? The people who were hosting the drag show. Because even when the power went off, They were still going. And they all got together to turn on flashlights, camera lights, everything they had to make sure that they were still able to see.
Safe space. We also are the arms that are around you to carry you through this fight that will never end, but will only continuously get stronger with your motherfucking support. Yeah, this is my last name. We all take your pain and we take your struggle and we turn that into the support that we give to you by showing up and providing safe space.
So yeah, great stuff. Great stuff. I have to say that that's honestly amazing. I was not expecting them to keep going, especially since the one in Ohio got canceled. But these guys, they said that there was no possible way that they were going to get intimidated. And I think that's an amazing thing. Once again, don't sit here and think that they're in North Carolina, they're somehow stronger or better than the people in Ohio who canceled the event. At the end of the day, they canceled the event because they wanted to take care of people. Okay, they canceled the event because they didn't want people to get hurt. All right, these people, these hard right wingers, these insane like Christian fascists, Al Qaeda extremists are insane people. They have nothing to live for, and so they're perfectly happy throwing away their lives as long as they get to take a couple of queer people with them. Okay, so I completely 100% understand wanting to cancel and protect your people, but also there is something very beautiful about standing up and being able to take care of standing up and not allowing yourself to be tormented into silence. I think that's an incredible thing. It really is. And so my respect goes out for them. They really do deserve it. That was pretty wild, I have to say. Lots of respect goes out to them. And so if you think it was just them that was affected, or even some of those people, don't worry, because it was also hospitals that are now on supplemental power and diesel generators, as well as schools that are completely closed at this moment in time, specifically because they didn't want gay people to be able to gather at all. And they completely misread and have no clue exactly what's going on. Sorry, and they misread and had no clue what this event even was. They're not even mad about like children being harmed. They're just mad that gay people simply exist. Remember that. Never forget that. Never allow these people to lie to you and say that what they really care about is children and what they really care about is child safety, like pedophilia. A lot of these people who are part of this openly would support a conservative pedophile as long as they don't have like a D next to their name, or as long as their political party's color isn't blue. A lot of these people couldn't give a shit less. All right. Donald Trump, who's actively in lawsuits about like walking into child beauty pageant dressing rooms and like being super creepy around fucking children, couldn't give a shit less. It doesn't matter to them. It doesn't matter to them. There are politicians who've like masturbated near schools who they have no problem voting for. Roy Moore, who almost won his election, even though he had credible allegations of him stalking and sexually harassing literal children when he worked at a mall. Doesn't matter to them. Who cares? Who cares? Who cares? Because what they really care about is power and money and clout and the ability to destroy other people's lives. It's not about protecting people. It's simply the politics of making other human beings suffer. That's the only thing that they live for. Actual, literal demons. They're bad people. Sorry. They're bad people. And so, moving on, since schools are now indefinitely closed until they're able to get power back, so now children aren't going to be able to get their education at the moment. Wow, you really did a great job there, buddy. Good job. Because that's exactly what North Carolina needs. More kids to not be in school. So true. A Facebook group called Roy Moore Citizens for Freedom posted this on Facebook November 18th. I blacked out the contact information of the sponsors to the drag show, but the group urges followers, you know what to do, to mention no mention of this at the press conference. And so they were like, you know what to do. Left the theater supportive voicemail. Any numbers for you guys that I can call? Get my opinion to, because I have quite a few thoughts for you all. I have quite a few thoughts for all of you. Sent a letter today to Sunrise City Council and Commissioner. I hope you're damn pleased with yourself, leaving 40,000 innocent people without power. How nice. Good job. Good job, guys. You really did it. We had to go to interview this young lady and have a word of prayer with her. but it turned out to be false. Sheriff Fields respond to the reporter family Emily Rainey Facebook post claiming to know why this happened. The reporter asked how it was verified. Fields says, "Good law enforcement." Okay. Presser just ended. Look again. I don't know if Fields is being intentionally cagey about further details out of respect for the federal investigation, but he has failed to satisfy some of the common questions about Rainey's claimed knowledge of the attack. Not a great response. And respectfully, I'm also not terribly impressed with the lack of focus from law enforcement on Rainey's claims posted on Facebook. She literally tagged the Sunrise Theater and wrote, "God will not be mocked." This is no specific question from reporters about this. So yeah, I think it's similar too. So what we've witnessed, Justin case, what we've witnessed so far is possibly one of the biggest just strategic terrorist attacks on an entire U.S. county, simply because gay people decided to gather and like dance and drink and be merry or whatever, just live their lives and have nice things and be with their community and show support to a community that is often marginalized and abused in recent history. Yes, in recent history. Yes, one of the largest scale, not in the sense of like the amount of people, seriously or mortally injured. I'm just talking about the amount of people affected in modern day history. This is insane how bad this is. This is remarkable how bad this is. And it's only going to get worse. It's exactly what these people are. It's exactly what conservatives want. Because I'm going to tell you now, a lot of them were going to come out and be like, "Oh, that's so unfortunate that this happened." But what they really care about is the fact that other people got injured that weren't the people who deserved it. It wasn't just the queer people. That's why not too many people on the right came out to talk about how horrible it was that all of those people got shot up, because they were the ones who deserved it. They were the ones there doing that shit. So they deserve the suffering. But your normal people out there, the other 40,000 people, they didn't deserve it. I can't believe that happened to them. It's incredibly disgusting. It's incredibly fucked up what these people do. But it's not super surprising, okay? Because this is what these people have shown to be. This is what these people simply are.
It's something that people should trust their instincts on. People should push back against this. And of course, people should arm themselves with the literature and the people, in their own words, who have advocated for this deeply disturbing sexualization of children.
Yeah, people should definitely arm themselves. I agree with that.
He agrees with that. He agrees with that. How interesting. How curious. But I can drop all of these words on it. What it's not is surprising. This is what these people are. If you know anybody in North Carolina who could need help, whether that be to like pay bills or get water, to seek medical help or treatment or anything, I would say, reach out and try and do whatever you can. These people need help, and they're suffering from the absolute rabid delusions of the conservative right that they've been feeding to people all of this time, that people are in danger. And so the way to fix that for them is to put more people's lives in danger. Yeah, I'm honestly, it's something that we're going to have to deal with for quite some time. It's a fight that we are winning, but when it comes to a lot of these people, when it comes to ideologies like this, they leave by one of two ways. They either fizzle out or they get stomped out. And as fun as it would be to stomp them out, don't put yourself in danger. Don't put yourself in any access risk, okay, if you can help it. And on top of that, do whatever you can to get the word out. And we can do some stomping, but less like face to face that puts actual people in danger. I'll tell you that, right? Because they're not going to go quietly. The more desperate they get, the more dangerous they're going to become. And so that's what we're looking at right now. The reason why they're spending all this time on like queer issues, trans issues, black issues, stuff like that, is because we are winning. They wouldn't have to do all of this if we were not winning. We are winning. We got W's on W's. Recently, gay people finally got the right to marry themselves as written into law, and to be able to be married, stay married, and have their marriage recognized by the federal government and by state governments, no matter what state government that is, and no matter what laws are on their books. That's an incredible step forward. They are winning. And these terrorists are losing. But that's why they have to resort to terrorism, is because they can't win by convincing people. They can't win by changing the culture. They can't win by getting into office because nobody wants them to be in office. They are fucking insane. And they want you dead. And so I hope that this just fizzles out. But if it needs to be stomped out, then that's what we need to do. Because we can't live in a world, we can't live in a civilized society with these people continuing to do whatever they do. It's time for something to stop. It's time for this to stop. Okay? It needed to stop a long time ago. And if that means that armed left-wing Antifa are going to end, and like Marxist gunmen are going to have to be the ones who are out there displaying a similar and opposite show of force to be able to protect people's lives, then it's going to be that way. And a lot of conservatives get like mad and start pissing and shitting their pants every single time that marksmen, I call them that. I think it's like the Socialist Gun Association, which is cringe. It should be marksmen. So I'm going to call them marksmen. Or Antifa are out there. Or even more left-wing boogaloo boys are out there doing some protecting, because a lot of times police won't. And obviously the people on the right actively want these people dead. So if you want less guns out there, somebody's got to have to start to pull back. When it comes to the left, we defend. When it comes to the right, they destroy. Okay? Here on the left, we like to build. There on the right, they like to bomb shit and live in open sewage. Okay? Let me know if you old frogs will understand that reference. Old frogs will understand that reference. That's exactly what these people are. Neanderthal. I'm not gonna say subhuman. Some people would say subhuman. Freaks. Get the fuck out of here. Never forget that this happened, and never let them escape it. Come here. Come here. Oh. Hi. Oh, sorry. I didn't see you there. If you're enjoying the content, hit the subscribe button. If you don't, it'll make Boo very sad. I know a bunch of you who are watching are not subscribed. Join the frenzy. You won't regret it. Thank you, Boo.